So you're gonna take your band and you're gonna anchor it to something up here. A pull-up bar works great. If you have any of those like door hook things, that works great too. But somewhere over your head will work just fine. If you have fat grips or you have some sort of handle that you can attach to this in some way, I think it will be a little bit more comfortable, but you can obviously do this by just grabbing the band, no big deal. I'm gonna use the fat grips. I quite like using them for band work like this. And what you do is you just kind of loop the band inside of the grip there. And now you have a nice handle to hold on to. It's a little bit more comfortable than the band. If I'm working my right arm, I'm gonna step back with my right leg and I'm gonna drop down to one knee. Make sure that when you begin the set, there is tension on the band. If I scoot too close here, it's loose here to start. I wanna scoot back far enough that in the beginning of the lift, or the beginning of the pull here, there's already tension on the band. And then I'm gonna think about driving my elbow down to my hip to where my arm is kind of in line with my torso right here, right? I like having my left hand on my left knee here, drive down, elbow to hip. Now, if you want to make this harder, you can do it two ways. One, you can scoot back, or two, you can actually add an extra band, so you're holding two bands at once, or obviously at some point you can actually just go get a heavier band. Now, I'm sure I wrote this somewhere in the program, but because we're using bands, we need to be training all the way to failure. You guys need to make this incredibly hard. Bands have a little bit of a downside in that they're not very difficult here where the muscle is lengthened. And so in order to counter that as best we can, I need you guys training until you absolutely get to the point where you're, completely and utterly exhausted and you cannot even pull into another rep.